Hi, I'm Debbie Ponticus, and on today's episode of Home Health, we're going to focus on what could go wrong when trying to sell your home, and specifically as it relates to title. Today I brought here Allison Kierman. She's a successful estate attorney and a good friend of mine, and she's going to give us some perspective on the legal standpoint of what could go wrong with title. So, hi Allison, how are you today?
Hi Debbie, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you back. So, as I mentioned, there's lots of different reasons that a house could not make it to close. Some common things would be maybe there's lots of maintenance issues that a seller didn't realize they needed to take care of. Maybe we've just overpriced the home. But what I want to talk about today is what I think a lot of people don't think about when it comes to selling their home, and that's as it relates to title. So specifically breaks of chains in the title. So can you give us a little bit of your perspective on what that could mean?
So I know the real estate market has been so crazy this last year. The craziness of the market means there have been more title reports run in the last year than we've seen in maybe forever. But that also means that more errors in title have been identified than ever before. That's what leads to probate and legal issues, and when you get to meet me. So some of the things that I see are when title agents are running a title report or trying to do title insurance, they notice an error. The error could be from 6 months ago, it could be from a mortgage refinance, or it could be decades old when your parents or your grandparents owned the home. And those are things we try to clear because those prevent a home from selling, and the title company ends up becoming the ultimate barrier on that process.
What are some examples that maybe we might be able to share as far as how that can come into play?
So one good example is I have a client, she's a daughter. Mom and dad passed away. She kept the house for a couple of years just as a rental, but decided she wanted to take advantage of the market and sell it because the price was so good. Unfortunately, the title company realized that back in the 70s, Mom owned the house in her individual name, but was married. And Mom later transferred her interest in the house to the trust, but there was never anything saying that Dad, who wasn't on the title, but under Arizona law was an owner, transferred his interest in the house to the trust. So we had to probate a break in the chain of title from 1972 before daughter could sell the house.
Wow, yeah. So if someone's looking to sell their home, is this something they should be concerned about? Should they be reaching out to their estate attorney to see if there's a break in the title chain?
So I'd say you can. That's not ultimately, most of the time what I get calls for is from the title company. They're the ones that notice the issues. I don't go back and check 4 decades worth of title and do that title search. The title company will. So they're gonna tell you if there's a problem. The thing is we can't identify the problem on Monday if we're closing the house on Tuesday, because I am fast, but I'm not that fast. So we need a little bit more time to go through the probate process. So if you are worried that there's a problem, we'd say let's get ahead of the issue and either have the title report run earlier or just call me for a quick check, and then we'll know a little bit sooner if there's a problem.
So probably the best time would be, maybe it's those sellers that might have taken a house on out of an estate, meaning maybe mom and dad passed away. They have no idea what anything is related to the house, let alone the title. So maybe if they're going to be in that situation, it makes sense to reach out to the estate attorney to see if they need to reach out to title to help out with anything on that standpoint. But probably more than likely, if you've sold your house yourself in the last 5 to 10 years, you accepted that home with a clear title, so you should know that your title is clear. But again, it might be those one-off chances, or actually probably happens more than not, when someone comes and they're maybe looking over an estate for their parents that have just passed.
Right. I will say title errors themselves are not uncommon, but each case has a totally different set of circumstances. So you want to get a handle of things if someone is passed and you're handling their estate. You have 2 years in Arizona to open probate, but I see a lot of people wait 3 to 5. It's not a race, but at the same time, the sooner you can get ahead of the issue, the easier it will be and the faster the process is. The other time to think about it is if someone's promised you the house, right? You are going to be the heir. This house will be yours. Those words are not magical, right? So we have to actually document that. And that's where I see a lot of problems, especially this last year with COVID. I have a client, mom and dad passed away within weeks of each other in December for COVID. Before then, they had asked their daughter to come here and move in with them. She was at a transition point in her life. It made sense. They said, don't worry, we'll take care of it. You can have the house when we're gone. That's all that happened, those words. But those words don't mean anything. Mom and dad never updated their plans. They never changed the title on the house. They didn't update their trust or their wills. So after mom and dad passed, the trustee of the trust had to evict her because the house wasn't hers and she didn't have any title to the home. So we want to get ahead of those types of things before you get kicked out.
Yes, that would be a good thing to do. Well, thank you so much, Allison. This has been really important information that I think is going to be helpful for a lot of people. But if they do want to reach out and ask questions further about this or other estate planning that you do, how can they reach you?
I have a lot of information on my website at KiermanLaw.com, and you can always reach out to me directly via email at akierman@KiermanLaw.com.
Great. Thank you so much. It was great to see you today.